Hey, spiritual superstars. Hey, spirituals. Let me know that you can hear me okay. This is a hot topic, and I am excited to get into this one. So come on in, come on in. Type in 4 1s, the opening of the spirit realm. There has been nonstop discussion, questions, theories, concepts on what dimension we live in. And I believe we live in the fourth dimension. And I'm going to share with you why. And I'm going to use this article that I just pulled up. Now, I'm really big on peer-reviewed studies, really big on scholarly articles, super big on scientific journals, high caliber content. But I'm also a believer in personal experience and what other people share as well. I do believe we have to take that into consideration because we are the soul within our human. All right. So I don't have my bell right here. Yes, I do. Got our bowl ready. So you know what we do first. Let's take a beautiful deep breath in. Raise our vibration. Challenging your human, kissing your higher self, connecting with the divine, and blowing it out. All right. So this is the deal. Now, science will tell you that you live in the third dimension, okay? But you know that you are the soul within your human. You came first, right? And so even though the third dimension is very real, it is what you see on measurements all over the place. When you measure things, what you were taught in school was height, width, length. Very dimensional, right? 3-dimensional. Very logical. Yes, we know that. However, we also know that we are able to see the unseen, which is out of the third dimension that some call life. So when we're able to see the unseen through our spiritual sight, our mind's eye, we are actually using the electromagnetic field or in frequency that we possess inside of our human and that exists in the quantum field. Now, this is physics. This is science. We know this, but also physics, science, the quantum area or thought is the school of nature. And nature is spirituality. When we look out inside of all forms of nature, when you look at the synchronicities that you receive in your spiritual guidance, messages that come to you, statements, names, when you hear your name being called, when you dream and it comes true, when you are able to project yourself into another place in time and call someone who was just thinking of you or vice versa, and you think about them and you pick up the phone and there they are calling you, you are traveling, and that is the fourth dimension. So let me just take this here and we're just going to run down this article so that you can understand it. I'm going to put a lot of information in this because I want to be really quick. Imagine a fourth dimensional object. And let me tell you who this journal is, ysjournal.com. First one that I saw, and it just did something to me. So I was like, this is the one I'm going to choose. Imagine a fourth dimensional object. Unfortunately, you soon realize that you can't. That's not true. But this journal says, but why? This is their theory. Our brains are not hardwired to picture anything beyond 3 dimensions. Now, here's where that is part true and part not true. See, our brain is one thing, but our mind is something totally different. See, spiritual superstars, no one sees what's in your mind. Your mind is totally different, okay? Your brain is it sends and receives signals from your senses to your human body, okay? That's its job. That's the brain's job. The mind is is a function of cognitive aspects that include imagination, non-cognitive functions such as emotion. There's thinking there, there's instinct or your intuition, there's intelligence or your intellect, there's judgment, perception, consciousness, language. All of these things are in your mind. So I do believe we can see it, and we do see it. Where do your dreams take you to? And I know you're challenging your human now. I know all of it is going on and sparks are going off and fireworks, and I'm changing your electromagnetic field, and I'm changing circuits, and you're challenging yourself, and cells are changing and neurons and all of that is going off inside of you because you are hearing new thought, you are opening to new concept, and you are growing, right? And so that presents a challenge, and I encourage you to challenge your human. So this says life on Earth only goes until the third dimension, and humans cannot see past the third dimension. Comment in here right now if you believe you cannot see past human life. And spiritual superstars, I promise you that if anybody says, no, I cannot see past human life, then you are telling me a lie, because you would not be on here at Spiritual Guidance Academy unless you had some type of spiritual experience that says, oh, I definitely am seeing something that does not jive with human logic. This is not supported by reason. It is not in the realm of judgment on human logic. This is something different. So I really want you to say that, okay? If you can or cannot see beyond the third dimension that some call life, okay? You got to remember, it's very comforting, it's very comfortable to know that there's a limit there. People can justify and reason a whole bunch of things when there's a limit to that space or that state of existence that they can just kind of stay in. It's comfortable. Once we move outside of our comfort zone, that's the unknown. And that, my love, is still quantum physics. It is the field, okay? So the human brain cannot imagine something that has never been exposed to. That's a lie. Such as the fourth dimension. That's a lie. It would be like envisioning a new color out there in the universe that has not yet been discovered by humans. Let me tell you why that's a lie. When your ancestors come to you, when your angels come to you, when spirit guides come to you, when any orbs you have seen, when any energy of the spirit realm comes to you, that color is unlike anything you have ever seen. Comment down below, comment in the live section, and tell everybody what the colors look like when you are experiencing an out-of-body experience. They look absolutely heavily saturated, and they are unbelievably brilliant, and they are colors that you have never ever seen in this life that people call the third dimension. When my aunt passed on, my mom and her sisters could not think of what her favorite color is, and there was 9 of them. Couldn't think of what, and so they said, wait a minute, we know who to call. Ask Necole if she remembers what Auntie's favorite color is. They were trying to get her outfit for her homegoing funeral. And I said, well, I don't remember, but I'll ask her. So my auntie had passed on, and I asked her, Auntie, is it okay if we know what your favorite color is? And I left it alone. You put that request out to your ancestors, out to your ascended loved ones, out to the universe, out to God, out to your archangels, out to your spirit guides, whomever you're working with, ascended masters, messengers of the Most High, whomever it is. We're all working with divine energy, which comes from our Creator. So shortly thereafter, my aunt comes to me. When I hear a message out of the ethers, which is out of the air, which is out of the quantum field, tell me, Necole, look up. I look up in the sky, and lo and behold, it is the most beautiful turquoise color I have ever seen. and there was a humongous angel, and it was my auntie, dancing and twirling, and oh my gosh, it was the most beautiful turquoise. I could never equate it to anything on this earth because it was not of this earth. And that means that I have seen colors that do not reside in that third dimension that people call life. Another way is when you are having an out-of-body experience, you will see such heavily saturated, or you will see such a monochrome color. Those colors will look totally different. You will try your best when you try to remember that dream or that vision or that out-of-body experience of what the colors look like and try to attach them to something on the third dimension. I want you to come back here and comment if you're really able to, or do you associate it with what you have seen through your human eyes? Because I said turquoise, because that's what I've associated with my human eyes. But I was very clear to tell my aunties and my mama, that was a color that I've never ever seen before. And I know it was auntie. It was divine. It was a totally different color. So you're going to see things, and you've already been seeing things, and that's why you are spiritually awake, because you are seeing with your spiritual sight. You're no longer accepting what you see through your human eyes, and you certainly are open to the opposite of human logic, which is spiritual alchemy, and you're getting it through your synchronistic messages called spiritual guidance. So how would you describe it of this color that you cannot see? All right. The inexplicable nature of this mathematical and physical concept makes it a true wonder of physics. However, remember physics, right? Physics, physics, physics. Many theoretical physicists, right, this is their assertion, have proposed several theories as to what the fourth dimension is and what it would look like. So I'm telling you my theory, and we're going to go right into it. Before we delve into the details of fourth dimension, we need to understand what the first few dimensions are. And you've always heard me say, we don't go back down past the third dimension. Why? Because it's beneath us. That is low level vibration. It is lower energy. And what is the point? You got to think about that. What is the point? Okay. A 2D shape would be a square. Okay. Well, we know that there is something more than the square, but there's also other things there. If you can say a 2D shape, two-dimensional, is a square, what else is there that's spiritual? Okay. It hasn't evolved to the point of where you are. So we do not go back to that energy. Okay. Now we can discover the spectacular and wondrous scientific proposals about the fourth dimension, progressing through the sequence of dimensions, extrapolating the natural influences between each dimension and the next can allow us to make likely assumptions about the fourth dimension. But here's the problem with this right here, is because they're coming at it from a humanly logical standpoint. And when we talk about quantum physics, it is the science of nature. So we have unexplainable things there, and that's what it is about. So when we come at it from just a limited perspective, such as a human perspective, then we always are going to come up with a limited explanation. And the problem with that is we teach it to other people. And when we do that, they are teaching limited aspects of the life that we know to be true, which they have called now spiritual awakening. But dear loves, you've been experiencing this your whole beautiful life. Okay, so using that information, we can gather that a 4D shape would be an infinite stack of 3D space, right? The new dimension is labeled W, and the measurement is called strength. Now, this is a definition that they just made up, okay? This is an assertion. This is a theory. This is a definition that they just coined. You have the power to do the same. And that's why you will always hear me say, trust your experiences. Trust them, spiritual superstars, because no one else is going to trust your experiences if you don't. You have to trust what is happening to you during the middle of the night when you wake up at 3 to 5 a.m. and you know something just touched your shoulder, when you know something just woke you up, when you know you heard your name being called, when you know that there was a shift in how you felt and nothing else happened. You know that someone just came right on your soul and you called them and they were like, I was just thinking of you. When you know that these things are happening and numbers are coming to you, you know that spirit is reaching out to you and you question it, keep questioning it, but take it even further. Take it the farthest you can, which means you're going to be a life learner and you are waking up into the next dimension that you're able to travel to. So, using the information above, they say that you can gather a 4D shape will be an infinite stack of 3D shapes, spaces. Now, you'll see that on every image that you hear discussing, what does a 4D, what does the 4D really look like? Okay? So, however, the problem arises as to how we could add this extra dimension. So what you'll see often is like fingers like this. Because then they're like, okay, well, how it'll be infinite. Another good thing of how to really see what they're saying is when you have a camera on and you're looking at the camera while there's a camera in there, and then like on your laptop, and I could be looking at it through here. What we'll see is infinite, just nonstop, 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 the window of my laptop. That's what they're talking about. That's what they say is the 4D. Now, here we go. Here we go. If they're saying that it's an infinite, nonstop, 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 is what it looks like, window after window after window. When you are seeing into the spirit realm, you are seeing infinitely. The spirit realm has no limitation to it. It is infinite. And yes, it is overwhelming. But don't let it overwhelm you to the point of believing a theory that simply goes against everything that you have personally experienced called spiritual guidance in your spiritual awakening. Okay? So, all of these dimensional measures extend in a direction perpendicular to the previous three: width, length, and then finally their made-up term, strength. Okay? This says, now hear this really good, spiritual superstars, this says our brains cannot visualize how this dimension would actually be situated on a 4D object orthogonally. Limitation, 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 being taught, limitation, being taught what you are not already experiencing. Your brain can see beyond the 3D because our mind is in there, because we are the soul within our human. We project our energy into the ethers through thought, and no one can see what you're thinking. No one can see what's in your mind. So you control that which you manifest all the time. All the time. Okay? So, and let me just say this down here. Find this little spot down here, and then we're going to wrap it up. I want you to type in the comment section what your thoughts are. What is your assertion? What is your theory here? Do you believe that we live in the 3D? Do you believe that we live in the 4D, the 5D, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th? Do you believe that we're in a parallel existence? What do you believe? And the 4D is not a parallel existence. And I do believe that there is a parallel existence for sure. The 4D, let me just find it here. So Einstein, many of you have heard of the famous physicist, genius Einstein, right? So, and that's just one of the geniuses out here. You're a genius, okay? Don't let anybody tell you you're not. Okay, with the special theory of relativity, right? That's what he's famous for. So he says that the fourth dimension is a time continuum. It is a time dimension. That is where we find time. Okay. If you now here it is. He said time should be a dimension like the other spatial dimensions because space and time are inseparable. Space and time are inseparable. Space and time are inseparable. Can't have one without the other. If you wish to move through space, this says, you cannot do it instantaneously. Oh, gosh. How untrue is that? If you wish to move through space, you cannot do it instantaneously. You have to move from where you are right now to another spatial location where you'll only arrive at a certain point in the future. That is not true. I want you to comment in the comment section. I want you to blow the roof off of this, and I want you to do it by your own experiences. How many times have you picked up the phone to call someone because they popped up into your mind and they're calling you? How many times have you manifested reuniting with someone? I wonder how they're doing, and they're contacting you. You call somebody and you're like, I just did this to my mother-in-law. I was just thinking about you like Wednesday. I was in a funk and I didn't want to call anybody. And she was like, girl, I was just thinking about you the same day. And she was like, I hope she's all right. I wonder how she's doing. So we just prayed. That's what she said. We just prayed for you. We traveled to each other. Boom, we connected. There was no separation. There was an instantaneous connection. And that defied what this says. It defies human logic. And that is spiritual guidance. That is spiritual alchemy. That is what God does. And so physics, science is this field of study of nature, of what God does. We can theorize it all day and all night, but that also includes what you're experiencing, spiritual superstars. So when you're waking up to this unlimited, untapped potential that exists within yourself, you know that you're composed of the same exact energies that theorists and physicists and scientists are talking about. You are composed of the same exact neurons, electrons, circuits. You're an electromagnetic field, the quantum field, frequencies. We know what that is. We know that why Wi-Fi works. We're using frequencies right now through Wi-Fi, through AM/FM radio, through the microwave, right? Look at your cell phone. We're using all of that now, right? And so you are dense matter. You are simply a physical property, right, or system that exists inside of science that has the same energy. And so if science can say this one thing, you certainly have the power to tell your truth and to really live your experience unlimited. You certainly have the right to challenge what your human has been taught and to really allow your human to live in this. Okay? So we can arrive at a certain point in time without physically moving our body. How often do you have premonitions? You have psychic premonitions all the time. How often do your dreams come true? How often do you have a thought and you just simply follow that frequency? You follow that thought and you end up getting to your desired destination. That is manifestation, right? And so they argue that time, they say that moving through space necessitates you to move through time as well. We live in a timeless existence. It is timeless. When we connect through the spirit realm, time doesn't exist. And that's why when I say we live in the fourth dimension, unlike Einstein, I believe that fourth dimension is timeless because we're able to travel from this timed existence that is in the third dimension. There's clocks all over the place. And here's how I'm going to end this. Once you're waking up, spiritual superstars, you grow in aversion to watches, to looking at your cell phone, to looking at the clock. Most of you don't even own a clock, right? Comment down below or comment in the live if you own a clock. You start realizing that I'm late and I don't care. I don't want to go anywhere and be on someone else's time. I'm living my life on my terms, and you start waking up to that. And here's the other thing. You start waking up at the same exact time, right? So when you need to hear from spirit, when God's got a message for you, when you've got a calling on your soul, and it becomes that point of you have got to live in your mission, when you're about to manifest that next big thing, when you're about to reunite with the love of your life, when you're about to hit on that healing that you have been praying on for you and your family, when you're about to walk into your greatness, you are waking up. You are hearing your name being called. You are looking at your cell phone and it is 12:12. It is 11:11. It is 1:11. It is 9:19. It is 9:09. It is 7:35. It is all these things that you're like, oh my gosh, why do I keep seeing these numbers, the same exact numbers? You go outside, you see the same symbols. You go to around the corner, you look on TV, you look on Instagram, you look on Facebook, you look back on YouTube, someone calls you, says the same thing. You look at a magazine, same exact numbers. You look at your receipt, you look at the gas station, same exact symbols, because spirit is telling you, you are awake to what goes against this third dimension that scientists and other specialists and people are taught and teaching people to believe they live in a very limited existence. And that's that cycle. It's a cycle. It's a rat race. You don't live there. And the second you start waking up to all of these symbols and synchronicities, your body just projects out and you get into the fourth dimension. That's the dimension that we call life. So let me just say that I am so proud of everybody that is open to your own spirituality, because as you can see, I get super excited about it because this is how I've lived my life. I manifested so much through just our spiritual guidance. You talking about healing my body of systemic lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, what else they put on that thing? My true love, ended up several marriage proposals. My children that doctors told me I would never have. Matter of fact, they told me that I would be dead. They told me my baby would die. They tried to give me a full hysterectomy. 7 doctors told me that. Twice a year, they would tell me you got to have back surgery. Your MRI, your CAT scans, CT scans are saying that you need to have back surgery. Till one day they said, we don't see anything. We don't see nothing. We don't see a reason for you to be treated by us. We need to see people that need us. You don't need us. Your blood work is coming back. Absolutely miracle. Your CT scan shows nothing. Your MRI, you don't need to have anymore. This is a miracle. 2 beautiful babies. Ladies, you know what it's like. 4 weeks early, 2 beautiful, blessed babies. Vaginal births, natural births, 2 separate births. 4 weeks early, 8 and 9 pound babies. My babies, you know, they a pound a day almost, right? Like I think it's like 1.5 pounds a week in that the 4th month. My babies would have been 14, 15-pound babies. 14, 15-pound, healthy, beautifully blessed babies with a ton of hair. They had so much hair, you couldn't keep the hat on them. The little newborn cap, couldn't keep it on my babies. Juicy, juicy. Okay, beautifully blessed little miracles. You start living in your unlimited potential, your untapped potential. You start listening to your spiritual guidance. You start listening to the frequencies because they're all around you. It's quantum physics. It's quantum physics. It's nature, except they go very limited. They only go so far. They dare not go into the spirit realm when they're studying the spirit realm. They're studying all of this, but they dare not go into spirituality. And honey, let me tell you something. It's like this. It's like this. But the reason they don't go into it is because they don't control it. And science and man or woman fear what they don't control. Don't let yourself fear God. Appreciate, respect, humble yourself. Learn to listen and hear from God because that pattern is consistent. The same way we are still experiencing this total lunar eclipse at the time that I'm doing this video. This is a total release. You had to let go of something, some part of yourself that says, I'm not doing this anymore. The other side of me has to come in and I need it, right? I need it. I need to let go of certain people, relationships, connections, and all of that. And so divinely timed, you automatically started looking at, what do I deserve? What changes can I make? What needs to release from me? What do I need to let go of? Right? On a new moon, what do? We automatically, we go with that energy because the energy is a part of us. We are all energy. That electromagnetic field just pulls us closer to our destination, to our manifestation. And honey, it attracts us. We attract it. So on a new moon, what do we automatically want to do? On a beautiful solar eclipse, what do we automatically want to do? We want to start something fresh. We just feel jumpy. I just want to do it. What do I need to do? I just got to start something. I need to do it. I need to do it. It's divine timing. It's divinely ordained. And that is spiritual guidance. It is how the universe talks to us. It is how God talks to us. And you just come on back for more free spiritual guidance because it's the way that I've lived my life. And I'm going to teach you everything that I know. Spiritual Superstars, I'm Necole, founder of Spiritual Guidance Academy. And I am here for you, right? We help you master your spiritual gifts. We help you learn how to hear from divine source. And if you receive value today, please hit that thumbs up button. Like my daughter says, spit on that subscribe button. Hit it. Make sure that you are subscribed. I know you might have subscribed eons ago, but definitely hit it again and hit the little bell so that you'll know when we come over with more free spiritual guidance. I am working on some things, so I'm going to come out with them either tonight or tomorrow, but very, very soon. You've got to check out these next videos because it is going to explain to you why manifestation is not working for you and how to put science on it so that you absolutely can manifest that very thing that you keep on dreaming about. All right? All right, spiritual superstars, I love y'all so much. Mwah. Honey, I will see you very soon. I cannot wait to see your comments. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for you. Keep on being strong and stay blessed.